Okay, guys, welcome. It's my absolute pleasure to introduce Bea Pole Bokor. Of all the people here, you always love meeting the other presenters and the other MCs, and I love your vibe. Lots of energy, really interesting, and just nice to be around. So I really appreciate that. But so Bea started out actually as a professional diplomat. By training, and then successfully worked basically branding and promoting a whole country. So that's the background. I think that's a really cool place to start. And then doing that at the international stage, and then moving that into digital. And she has a social media consulting company, Bea Social, which is quite clever because her name's Bea, so very cool. And now she works, basically, she was worked at UNESCO headquarters in Paris, and then actually worked for L'Oreal as well before coming to New Zealand.
Because they deserve it.
That's good. Yeah. So yeah, and so heaps of energy, and the topic we're going to talk about today is Instagram stories, and I think it's one of the most important parts of Instagram to me, and I think it's very important to get the connection with real people through that medium. So yeah. Lovely. I don't want to waste any more time, so I'll hand over.
Thank you so much. Just one thing before we go and move into this space. Did you know that Jay is the best? Actually, it's his last name, Jay Best. So give a clap for our awesome MC. Thank you so much. Okay. Welcome, everyone. I'm really, really thrilled to be here today. And thanks for coming and joining us for this absolutely creative session, and hope you'll find a lot of value in it. I just love Instagram stories because they're not only a creative tool to use for us business owners and businesses, but they can also be used in a very strategic way. And, you know, instead of just posting cute puppy photos, that's how Instagram started actually, a puppy photo, but, you know, it's good to post cool photos, but if they don't make sense and they're not talking to the right people and it's not in line with your strategy and your goals, it's going to be a waste of time, your energy, and even your money. So that's why I love Instagram stories, because it provides a great way to get creative and strategic at the same time. Are you ready to jump in?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Good. Who uses Instagram stories actually? Hands up, please. Okay, awesome. Who uses Instagram? A bit more, okay. Let's see if the clicker works. Yeah, so the way I structured basically the presentation is basically I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview about the basics, what Instagram stories are, how we can use them, what's the opportunity in it. We're going to look at some numbers. Are there any people in here in the room who like numbers, stats? Good, okay, that's going to be for you. And then, of course, we'll look at a bit at the ads, and then some creative apps, how we can use this platform with the built-in tools and some extra features. So the story, yes. Oh yeah, so that's my username, Bea Social now. That's how you can find me. No worries, good question. And if you follow me, I'll follow you back. I'll see. So the basics. What is basically an Instagram story? Okay, it can be a series of photos and videos, 15 seconds long these days, and they last only for 24 hours. So in a daytime, they're gone. Okay? Now, what does this mean? It means that it's very spontaneous, it's intimate, because you kind of get to see the behind the scenes what's happening, but then it disappears. So you want to come back all the time and see what's happening. It's like you have a FOMO, right? If something is creating really engaging, cool stories, you will feel like you don't want to miss the show. You want to come back for more. And they can be very imperfect, very real, very spontaneous. They don't have to be totally polished up. They can, of course, and more businesses who are putting ads and money behind that, they're using, of course, all these fancy apps to make them look really good. But, they can be really real, and I think that's one of the most important things. You can really connect to the people who matter to you the most. And social media is social. Let's not forget that. Let's get back to the basics. It's about people. It's about you, me, us, connecting, building those relationships, getting some kind of connection, because at the end of the day, people buy from people, right? And humans, we are humans. So this is a really good way to connect, engage with humans. Now, they're made easy to create, so it's super simple. How do you guys find Instagram stories to create, those of you who are using it? It's basically you press the button, you find the apps, you just use it, okay? It doesn't really need too much of a brain work. You can find the things. It's relatively easy to do that. At least that's what I feel. Now, also a very important point here is this is the news feed, right? They are located in a prime location, okay? Facebook stories now are out too. Instagram stories are out. They are right on the top of your news feed. What does this mean? It means an opportunity, because you're put basically right on the top of the feed of the people who are opening the app day by day, and it's just a great way to stand out, okay? So that's why I called basically the topic of my presentation, you can raise the profile and grow your business through Instagram stories, because it's a really good opportunity to do that, okay? Now, how does it work? You just scroll through these. Of course, you're going to be competing with all the stories up there, so you still need to scroll through the feed, not upside down, but like horizontally, but still they're right on the top. You can't miss them, okay? If someone has a story, there's going to be like this colorful circle around it, and this is where you can create your own. So anyone here who has never created a story in their life? Okay, so this is where you're going to go, okay? You open your Instagram app, and you will see your profile picture or business picture, and then you just click on the plus button and you add your first story, okay? Maybe it's going to be today, who knows? So, and then of course here is the Instagram feed, so you scroll down there. Does this make sense? Okay, good. Now, what is the opportunity here? What is the creative opportunity for you? We're, most of us, business owners here, right? Is there anyone who's not a business owner or employed in a business? Okay. Maybe organizations, charities, other kind of NGOs, you know, but most of us are here because we are doing business, some kind of a business. And what do we want to do? What's our goal, right? What's our ultimate goal? We want to connect and reach the customers who will eventually buy from us, right? What is buying, okay? It can be a conversion, right? What is a conversion? It can be an email sign up, it can be a video view, it can be a free downloadable ebook, it can be buying our services or products, okay? Definitely, let's think about a conversion, okay? Because that's what everyone will have either way. So, how can we use Instagram stories as a tool to reach our goals? To connect with the people, to reach them, to find them, and to convert them in a way. We can raise the profile and grow the business, but how are we going to do that? First things first, we need some kind of a strategy. Now, most of you have some kind of a business strategy, probably even a social media marketing strategy. You can have an Instagram story strategy too that will fit really nicely into that. So that's where the strategic thinking comes in. Think about what you want to do. How are you going to use this tool effectively? And use it for your business. So basic things of a cool strategy, and so many people have talked about it in the last 2 days. Why do you want to use Instagram stories for your business? What's your ultimate goal with it? Think about it, take a moment. For each and every one of you, it's going to be a little bit different. You need to know your why and who are the people you want to reach, right? Who are your ideal customers? Who will buy from you? Who do you want to target, right? Because we don't want to talk to everyone. It's not going to work, right? You need to know who is the right audience for you. And then, once you know your audience, you can start speaking to them as they want to hear, not you. Okay? It's like, oh, I'm selling my really cool business services, and what? I need to tell them why this is going to make their life better, more valuable, richer, healthier, happier, whatever you're doing, the product or service you're selling. What's the value in it for them? What's in it for them, right? And then you can start showing them what they want to see. True stories. Now we have a chief storyteller here in the room, Park Howell, and probably everyone in this room has heard his awesome keynote in the morning yesterday. So we know what makes a good story, right? The ABT model. We're going to use that. But then we had Michelle's awesome session with videos, like how to create cool videos. Now we have another expert here, John Maybury, video consulting expert too. So like a lot of cool stuff you can use already from these things you took away from the last 2 days. We're going to go now, take these and use it more for specifically for Instagram stories. So all this builds on each other. How? How are we going to use the Instagram stories? Now, this is just a really cool example. You can actually post from your newsfeed to Instagram stories. This is a relatively new thing. Has anyone heard of this or using this? Cool. Awesome. So how to do that is basically when you have your post in the newsfeed, there's going to be a little airplane icon next to it. So if you open your Instagram feed now, you're just going to go to any of the posts you see in your newsfeed. And there's going to be the heart, the comment, and then like kind of an airplane triangle. Oh, the triangle. Here we're coming back to the triangle. Don't trust the triangle. You can trust that triangle, though. So if you click on the triangle, you can add it to your story if it's your own. Yeah, yeah. So that's how it will pop up. And if you click on your post, you will see that this space here, like the comments, I mean the context of the content, either will be there or not. If you click on your post, you can vary that. But let's go and start with the basics. So how to start using Instagram stories? First of all, you need to show up. You need to create a story to start with, okay? Because otherwise no one will see it. And this is what Jeff said too. You know, you need to be telling people what you offer because otherwise they will not get it from you, right? You can just promote and tell how valuable you're bringing your services to your audience or your products, but you need to tell them that they can actually get it from you, right? So this is the same with Instagram stories. You need to put your stories out there to show people that you're there, to raise your profile, that you exist, okay? Because it's like a little bit of fishing. Who is here who likes fishing in the room? Cool. Well, I'm not really a fisherman type of person, but my woman type of person, but my husband loves fishing, so I sometimes take pictures of him fishing. But what I can say as a layman of fishing, you know, go and find a fish or be a fish, because if you're in front of the fisherman, you're going to be caught, right? So that's your story. Put it in front of the fisherman. This is your fish. It's going to be caught out. Does it make sense? That's my kind of layman terms of fishing. But I thought it's like easily understandable. So show up. And then people can start and come checking out your stories. Yeah.
You say post regularly so you show up on the newsfeed.
Yep.
You know, if you're following quite a few people, you'll get the same people at the beginning. Is that based on your engagement with them or how often they are putting it up?
It can, like you mean like who comes up on the top of the...
Yeah, you know how you can see 5 without scrolling along.
Yeah, absolutely.
What dictates what's coming
So
up?
it's a little bit of the algorithm, also who's posting when. So if there's a fresh story, it can come up before. The other is also engagement, like who you're relating with, connecting with, checking out their stories. There's a lot of things behind that.
Does that algorithm go for who you're checking out on the feed as well as stories?
I'm sure it's connected with that as well, because, you know, it's all connected. But, you know, the cool thing is not that many people are using the Instagram stories as of now, so it's still like a way to stand out, and there's more opportunity than on the Instagram feed itself. Makes sense?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so for example here, I put this example here. This is as many stories I had in this highlight. So, okay, this was put in a highlight, not in the story. But, you know, sometimes you will see these little kind of hyphen marks next to each other, and each one of them indicates a separate story, so a separate 15-second thing. Either it's a photo or a video, okay? So when you go to check someone's story, you will see actually how many stories that person has, and then you will be able to kind of estimate, okay, is this so long or not? Now, what's the length, the ideal length of a story, okay? How long will people be engaged? this is a cool way to measure actually ROI in that sense, like measure when are they going to be dropping off, because you can actually see exactly who's checking out your story. Did you know that? So when you put up a story, in here, when you open your own story, there will be a number here with profile pictures, and you will exactly be able to see the names of the usernames of the people who are checking out that story. So I think that's an amazing tool for you to watch your audience and see the retention rates, see how long they're going to follow through all the way through your stories. And I, for example, my primary platform is not Instagram, but I use Instagram stories to cross-promote a lot of my things on Facebook and LinkedIn. That's where my conversions happen more. But it's really interesting to see my audience coming and engaging with me every single time on the Instagram stories, and like keeping that retention. And Kat Howell just now said, how many times are these the touch points, right? Not 7 anymore, but 18 to 50. You need to show up. So that's why the fish example is good. You need to be there to be seen. And you know, that's how people will remember you, build that rapport, and you can engage with them. Make sense? Okay. So, who knows Pig's Peanut Butter? Yeah, they just had their grand opening down in Nelson. And this is a really cool example how they are using Instagram stories to get visibility and build a brand awareness, actually. So it's really important that you, as a business, have some kind of a brand awareness and you communicate that through in your visuals. So you see, for example, all these red texts here. This is fitting well in the black with their branding. So you can actually use colors in your stories to brand it according to your logos and your business image. It's fantastic, I think. It's so easy to do it. You don't need to be a graphic designer for that, and it just really works. It creates that image, brand awareness, right, to make an impression. And this is just a cool feature here, the countdown feature. They were putting up these countdown posts until the grand opening of their new premises. Has anyone used the countdown feature?
No.
Yeah, so check it out. I'll show you. Yeah, so it's on the top bar too. It's a relatively new feature, some months old. It's really amazing. And then when the countdown is like done, it kind of creates like a congratulations kind of music, and like things go around. It's just very funny to use.
Apparently they've just got stopped at Whole Foods in the States.
Yeah, they're like everywhere, like, you know, really big. And you see like here, for example, they're just showing where they are. So that's also another way to create that excitement that, you know, you can find us here and here and here. It's a really good way how they're telling a story, right? It's about telling stories too, through images, a little bit of text, creatives, you know, some drawing in the middle with arrows. Now, another thing here, she is a mandala drawer, 4100. She's a Kiwi girl now living in Canada, and I just love her mandalas. Does anyone love mandalas in the room? They're really relaxing to look at. So, mandala, like, mandala. So these things, like, you know, these patterns, what she's drawing here. And like she integrated it into a nice picture here as well. Can you see that? So it's really a great way to, again, use colors, filters, visuals, right? So she's drawing her mandalas usually in black and white, and you can see that in her stories. So most of her stories, or many of her stories, are black and white schemed, right? You can use filters for that, or swipe across the bar and have like a black and white filter. It's really nice, and she's using black and white images of, for example, you know, pens and everything. It's just really nicely put together. It's consistent. And she's also using some softer images here, and a lot of like the nature, the patterns that she gets inspired from the mandalas. It's a really nice way of connecting, again, people through stories and images and visuals. Of course, Instagram is very visual, so if you're visual, this helps, but that's why I thought this is a really nice comparison or like example to put these here. And then she can even create that with her own hand with the drawing feature. So, you know, you can do whatever you really want. The opportunities are endless. Now, Air New Zealand. I think they're doing an amazing job here in building relationships and connecting people, connecting the audience with them and getting them behind the scenes. So this is a sequence of stories. Some of them, it was a bit longer, but I didn't put all the slides here. When they're taking you basically on the board of their new plane and showing you around. And see, again, it's all nicely like color synced. Here it's like more purplish. Here it's more black. You can talk to the captain. He shows you around. It creates that experience that, oh, I'm actually flying with Air New Zealand, and how cool is that, right? It's not really selling anything. It's a story, but it so works well. Action. It takes them behind the scenes. You feel like you're sitting right there and watching that movie, doesn't it?
Did they post those in one 24-hour segment or one day after another?
No, so this was a sequence. So they posted it one after the other, so it was visible next to each other in the same like storyline, yeah. And they probably disappeared within 24 hours altogether, yeah. But it's also in their highlights. Anyone knows what is a highlight? So it's on the profile of Instagram. If you go to your own profile or someone, if you go to my profile, you'll see that I have the story, I have the bio, and just before my feed, my grid starts, up there are like highlights. So it's basically a collection of stories I highlighted because I thought they're interesting and can be more valuable. So that's how you can make them live longer only than 24 hours, right? Yeah. Sorry? Yes, of course. So you can edit those, you can edit which one is going to be the cover photo, you can swap them around, and you can remove them. So there's an option, if you click on the story, to remove from highlights. So yeah, it's up to you what you want to keep there. Everything can be changed. Yeah, I'm happy to show you after the session, yeah. Yeah. Now, another way of engaging, or actually ways of engaging. Here are some examples how you can engage and involve your audience and get them to interact with you and even feature them, because these all build connections, and that's what you want. You want to get real with the people. So here are some really cool tools you can use within the Instagram app. So for example, polls. Has anyone used the polls? Basically a yes or no question, and then people can click on it and say yes or no. Very easy to get interaction and engagement. And then again, it's like another touch point for you to involve your audience into your business and your community. Yes, Jay?
Are you specifically able to know who of your followers don't like rainbows?
Absolutely. So on my poll, in my insights, I can check out who voted what. So that's amazing.
Can you delete the nose?
Sorry?
Can you delete
No, I mean, that's freedom, right? I love rainbows, but not everyone does. But it's like, and now, of course, like if you're selling something, if you have a product or service, you can just test this out for your own like customer experience. Okay, what do your customers like? Do they like the lipstick or the shampoo more? Or which lipstick they like, right? Or like anything, which is your favorite, or whatever. Like you can test your audience with a yes and no poll. This can be used in so many ways for more like a business purpose, but I just put this out there because this was like a cool image, and like, I love rainbows, so yeah. Yes?
Sorry, can you check all your inserts on that regardless if you have a business profile or just a regular account?
Yes, so you need to have like a business profile to have your insights, and if you're using Instagram for business, I would highly recommend you switch to a business account. You can always switch back again if you don't like it, but that's where you can see your analytics and your insights. So just good to measure those, and like Kat said, you have to analyze the stuff because some things might work, some might not, and then this gives you data, so use the data.
Only
Yeah.
does this have the polls?
I think you can have the poll as a personal profile too. I'm almost for sure. What businesses don't have at this stage all around the world is music features. What I'm kind of feeling like, oh, that's so bad because they're so cool. So if you have like a personal profile, you can add music to your stories. But
Business profile, I can add music.
and that's it. Like, not everyone has rolled that out yet. So it's rolling out, but it's not everywhere. So many of you will find that you won't be able to use that yet. Maybe it's coming hopefully soon for everyone. But most of the things you can use in both a personal and a business profile. Now, another thing is you can feature your fans or your most active followers or those who really matter to you, like your VIP people or someone that are kind of like warm and almost there to convert, and highlight them, make them feel special. So again, that makes that some kind of a connection, right? It's a bit of a psychology there, but people like to be appreciated. So you can bring those people out from your communities. And we have like Candice here from the Facebook group communities. You know how important it is to highlight people and make them feel special in that community, to make them feel like they belong there. This is exactly the thing. So last year we did a social media feature for Nelson, because I live down in Nelson right now. And we did like a little campaign in the community to ask businesses share their really cool tips around social media. And I featured them on my page for Social Media Day. And she's a really cool florist who's doing Instagram really well. By the way, you can check her out, Emma. And yeah, so that's her feature. She did like a little tip of the day, for example. Or you can also share stories from people who mention you in their stories, okay? So that's another way to come back and appreciate them. Oh, thanks for posting about me, or like tagging me in your post, and then you can share that out. It's UGC, right? UGC is gold, user-generated content. Everyone knows that expression, right? Yeah, so you can feature that because, again, it builds trust, it builds the relationship. It's an amazing way to do that. Now, interacting with them, simple thing as like saying hello and saying, hello, Instagram, personalizing it for the platform. So not saying, of course, hello, Facebook, because that would be strange on Instagram. But you can say, you can talk to your Instagram people, hello, Instagram. You know, they're going to feel special that you're talking to them on that platform. That's really cool. And yeah, another thing here, just mentioning the people and putting them in, like we had a workshop here, and I just tagged the people who came along or posted about it. So it's a really good way to get engaged with your clients or customers or fans who are not yet your clients, but high chance that they will be. Makes sense? Who's got here in the room stories or fans or content that you can feature usually, like UGC? Okay, cool. Yes, what was the question? Sorry.
When you go, you say you mention and tag, do you do both? Do you tag in the photo and mention?
Oh yeah, so like tagging them means like you put them out there with the mention. Of course, that's what I meant. So putting their usernames into the post, so people can click on them, and it's a good way to promote them as well. So we just did a really cool like break session with John. We were just showing around the conference break, and we by chance spotted Park and Glenn talking. So I tagged them in, and then you will be able to click on that, and then right away go to Park's profile or to Glenn's profile, and you know, that's how you can refer each other or cross-promote. If you have any businesses you're working together with, that's a really good way to do that too. Yes, so once you tag someone in the story, they'll get a notification that you were tagged in their story, and you will get a private message, like a DM, and they will see the option, okay, add this to my story. And then you just add it to your story, and then you can add anything else you want with that story. So that's a cool way to share out things. Now, yeah, this is again like what I did a poll here. So just educating my workshop participants that you can actually share out stories, and if they know or not. And I shared out someone's story, and I just played around with it. I put some extra like filters on it, not filters, but text and tagged and the location. So you can get really creative with that. And again, of course, I use my orange brand color because that's my brand color. So you can use your colors in your stories to match your brand, okay? Anyone got orange in the room? Orange is the new black. For me. Okay. Now, coming to like a step further, how can you promote your business, right? And this can be tricky for some of us because, you know, we want to bring value, but we not want to sound salesy or pushy. But on the other hand, we need to make sure that the people who are following us know that they can get in touch with us, buy from us, engage with our services if it brings value for them. That's why it's so important to know who are we talking to, because you don't want to be speaking to the people who will not care about your product or service, right? Makes sense. So here are some ways to do that. Call to actions, okay? Now, a lot of the accounts who don't have, who are kind of starting or smaller and don't have swipe up options, still can do and include call to action buttons in their stories. And this is really important to do. So a call to action can be so many things. You can just ask them to go and visit your website, right, to learn more. So you can't put links into your stories. You can't put links into your news feed, like into your posts, because if you put the link there, it's not going to be clickable. It doesn't look professional, so you don't want to do that. And you only have one link in your bio, right? So if you have several things on your website, you can only direct them with one link. How do you refer to that? You're going to say link in bio, and that's like an Instagram term. Is there anyone who didn't hear that term before? Okay, you're really, okay, no problem, but most of you have used that or seen that all around. This is the term to get people to your bio, and this is where you can get them to your website. Now, if you have several things you want to promote through your website, you can use apps, third-party apps like Linktree. So it will give you several options for links in one link, so that's a cool app. You can Linktree. Yeah, so just put that down. There's a free version and there's a paid version. So basically, instead of one website link, it will take you to different options. So for example, someone is selling honeymoon packages and family packages for traveling, or wants to take people to their blog, and you can't do that in one link, but you'll use Linktree, and then it will come up. So it's basically a middleman between your Instagram feed and your website, and then it will just direct people more targetedly to what they're interested in, and that's what you want. You want to take them to the right place. Funnels, again, we just heard that. Make sure you have your funnels planned and set up, okay? That's the same thing here, and that's your why. Why do you want to use Instagram stories? Know the end goal, and then come back from that. Makes sense, right? Okay. So a call to action, link in bio, or DM me, direct message me. It's starting again an engagement, because then you can reply. It can become personalized. You want to get personalized as much as you can, because then again you will feel like you will care about them and they will feel special. That's what you want. It's very customer centric. Also, the countdown button is cool, and then you can say join, or again, like a link in bio. You can put it in different ways. You can put it as a text. You can write it with your handwriting. You can include even your website, but it's not clickable, okay? So if your website is not really complicated, you can do that because it creates that awareness. It's, again, one more touch point of your branding, but make sure you know that it's not clickable. So it's just more for raising the profile of your business. Make sense? Who's using call to actions? Very good. Now, even more. If you have enough following, you can include a swipe up, but there's a new feature with the GIFs that you can go around, and even if you don't have enough following, you can put a GIF button there, and it will help people swipe up, and then you can tell them to, okay, just go to a link and do that. So what is a swipe up, basically? And Les Mills has a really good example. They will have some kind of a call to action here. See that? Make your move, and with the arrow, it's a swipe up button. If you swipe up, and you are kind of gone through the storyline, of course, they will create the story first to get your attention, and then once it's ready to put the call to action, they will put in a swipe up button, and once you swipe up, you'll be suddenly taken to the website, okay, where the conversion can happen, or you can learn more. So it's a great way to build that next step of the funnel, get them through to the website, okay? And that's what you want to do. So if you don't have this option, just say link in bio, and then take them from there. If you have that option, use it, because it will help them get straight there where you want them to be. Also, you can put in a shop integration, okay? So you can put in shop product, and then they can click on the product, and then they will be taken to your e-commerce site where you can buy the exact product. So that's really cool. Yes?
How do you add the swipe up option?
Okay, so that will be included in your feed, and then it takes a certain number of followers to have that. So if you have like 200 followers, it will not work. But it's, I think it's around that now, yeah. So I, for example, have relatively little following, but my audience is really warm and they're converting. So it's not about the numbers again, because you can go around, right?
How do you do that GIF thing you said?
Yeah, so that's also up in the top menu. So when you click, I will show it soon. Like, we'll have a really practical part to the session where we'll put these into practice. But it's right up on the top where you can edit those buttons like the location and this kind of stuff. Oh, we're going to dance soon. Okay. So, social proof, right? This is really important too. You want to make sure that people trust you and you show that you're a trustable brand because, again, it's social, people refer, and that builds trust if you can showcase other good examples, case studies or testimonials. So GK Events Hire, basically a game renting company. They just hire out like cool games for weddings and events. They're showing different locations with their games and showing where they were used, okay? You can even tag the locations and the businesses. So for example, if you were at a museum and the museum has an Instagram handle, just, tag them in. It's good for them too. It's creating that visibility for both. So this is a really good way to get features, and you can put in testimonials. So this is, for example, another testimonial they got. They just storied it, right? They put the post in, or like a picture of it. They just shifted it around so it looks like in a cool position. They added some text here, and they just drew a circle around it, and look how cool it looks. It's really simple. So, you can think out of the box here. And what then? You create the stories, and then what? They'll never come back. Make them come back. Leave that little buzz at the end. Okay, and there's more coming, okay? So it can be simple as stay tuned, okay? This was when I went to Social Media Marketing World last year, and I was storying basically throughout the whole conference, and I just said, okay, stay tuned for more, because this is when I set up on the airplane and flying out. So starting the story in the beginning, right? But make sure you don't miss the middle, right? That's what Park said too. You need to follow up on your story. So get that excitement going. And you can use even arrows, like there are really cool GIF arrows. So you can put GIF arrows here and just show, okay, swipe more, or you can include a GIF tap more, tap to see more, because if you tap on it, the next one comes up, so people will take action and they will feel involved again. So that's a really good way to, again, engage the people. And this is what I love. Brian Fanzo, who knows him? He's like a really cool social media expert. I've been following him since last year, and he's doing an amazing job in cross-promoting his stuff between platforms. He's on basically every social media platform, but he's really big on podcasts. Okay, so how can he get people to his podcast through Instagram stories? Creating the buzz around it and making sure there are really cool call to action buttons, or if he wants people to check out his videos on YouTube or Facebook, he will cross-promote that. So I've been using these kind of tactics as well that I learned from him. It's really a good way to help your channels go and, work together. It's fantastic. So, by the way, check out his new podcast. It's really cool. Now, moving on to numbers. Any questions so far about the creative stuff? We'll go into practical stuff later, but yes?
If you wanted to put, I know you can't put a link onto your Insta story, but say
Yeah.
you had something you wanted to put a video, but not one you took. So if you've got a video, say someone took a video of you and they sent it to you and you've got it, how do you...
You can put a video into your Insta stories. So
But if it's not in, how to put, if it's off a website...
you can screen record it.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
Can you do that on your phone?
Yeah, there's an app for it, screen recording.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. So if you'll see, for example, the post I put up in the group with some basic, in the social media conference group, there's a basic how to do Instagram stories. I recorded that on my phone with a screen recording app.
Great.
Yeah, so it's really easy. And then you can use other apps to trim it. And if you need those apps, talk to me or John or Michelle. We will help you with that. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So numbers, the rise of stories. And this is a quote from last year, January, from Mark Zuckerberg. Did you know that Instagram is, by the way, related to Facebook? It's clear for everyone, right? Okay. Yeah. So just in case you wanted to drift off from Facebook, know that Instagram is the same thing. Okay, now so they're owned by the same thing. So we expect stories are on track to overtake posts in feeds as the most common way people share across all platforms. This was a statement coming from the founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, last January. Okay? And this is happening already. I don't know how many of you notice that the Instagram feeds actually are starting to be moving more to stories. There's IGTV is showing up on the news feeds too. So there's definitely a shift happening. And it's the same reason real estate, right? Real estate is limited on Instagram too. So where are the other ways, the places where people can be taken to? Stories. And it's increasing day by day. Now, let the numbers speak. Altogether, and this is from the Q4 2018 results from Facebook that came out in January, 2.7 billion people use Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp each month. That's a big number, okay? More than 2 billion people use these services every day. Is there anyone who doesn't use one of these every day? Hands up high? Okay, not the majority, definitely. 90 million small businesses use Facebook products, so including Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp. And 7 million active advertisers are across these services. Only on Instagram stories, there are just 2 million already. Can you believe this? This is a huge number. 2 million advertisers are using Instagram story ads already. This is like crazy. And even more crazy, 500 million daily actives on Instagram stories, okay? Do you know how many users are there in Instagram in general? 1 billion around. So that's not bad. Facebook is, I think, around like 2.7, but it's integrated. So Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp, okay? Yeah, so these are crazy numbers, and it's just like soaring. By the way, stories will be coming at some stage. They are coming from Snapchat originally, and then they came over to Instagram. Facebook took it over, and there are news that LinkedIn will be integrating that. It's already testing in campuses. So that's definitely, if you're looking at the big picture, stories are everywhere. It's coming. It's a great way to connect with people, and you as a business can leverage this to the max and start today. Here are some examples from the Facebook Q4 report. So basically, stories continue to grow very quickly, 500 million daily actives on stories. Messaging, now you can get DMs through the stories, that's what I'm referring to, you know. Messaging is becoming really important, both on Facebook Messenger. There's a session going right now on chatbots with Jam. You can listen to that on the replay later on. Highly recommend you to educate yourself more on messaging, because that's, again, another real estate for people to show their ads, right, and be present, because there's only that much space in the news feed. And commerce and e-shopping. So we will find probably in the months and years to come a lot more new things coming out around that, more integration probably into stories as well. So this is all happening. It's right in front of our eyes. Just watch the space and be aware of that this is a new trend. Not so new, but it's becoming even stronger. Now, an interesting thing to look at, top 10 sites in New Zealand, January 2009. I checked that February was the same. It's a little bit small, so I'm going to read it to you. Google, Facebook, Google, YouTube, Facebook, google.co.nz, TradeMe, Reddit, Wikipedia, Stuff, Netflix, and New Zealand Herald. How many of these are social media platforms? YouTube, Facebook, Reddit, TradeMe, kind of, right? Almost. So, Kiwi thing. So this is just very interesting to see, like the top used websites in New Zealand, and you will see very similar stats for the world. Just go and check it out in the world. These are really important to look at again as global trends. And Instagram is right here, number 13, out of all the websites that are searched for or used in New Zealand. So this is big. Now, what will come? what are the new trends coming? Sharing links to entire stories, so people can click actually on the link and go to your website. That's not there yet, but it's coming eventually. At least the news are like that. Donation and quick quiz stickers, so you can donate. You can click on donation buttons, and you will see that right in the middle. That's how it looks like. Someone spotted it. It's under testing now. It's again another way to engage. You know, people are becoming more people-focused. You see along a lot of platforms the charities, the donations. How can we show our human sides as a business to relate to people who are buying from us? This is again a new trend. It's happening. Instagram is on the game. It's coming here as well. Instagram Direct for the web, so using it on your desktop, and more Instagram Stories integrations like Shopify, Netflix. These are all integrated. So if you watch a movie on Netflix, it just rolled out recently, you can share it out on Instagram. Amazing UGC for Netflix, working with Instagram Stories. So these things, interactive, engaging features are coming out, rolling out, so you can engage more and more. And that's just building those relationships again. Now, advertising. As I said, 2 million people using Instagram Stories already. You can promote a story from Instagram, clicking on the Instagram story, and these will be the 4 steps that you will be taken through. So basically, promote it and then select where to send the people, select your target audience, and your budget. It's basically like boosting a post on Facebook. That's the boost post type of stuff. And of course, you can go through the Facebook Ads Manager. That's going to allow you with much more targeted options, retargeting, just setting up your campaign much better. So if you're really looking at how to reach the right people, I would strongly recommend to educate yourself on Ads Manager, because it's really much more complex and much more targeted in there. And pixels can be reused there. So is there anyone using pixels on their website in this room? Yeah, so that's basically a retargeting tool. It's a code that is put on your website, and it measures and tracks every single visitor on your website, and then Facebook and Instagram can find them after with the advertising options. It's a bit creepy, but that's why we need good privacy policies to be transparent, what Rick said, because you know, if you have a Facebook pixel installed, you need to have a privacy policy, you need to have a cookie pop-up window. So again, just be responsible business owners or employees and tell that to your bosses or tell that to your colleagues that you need to take care of these things when you advertise. Now, the best format for Instagram Stories is, of course, like horizontal 9:16. But if you shoot like a video, for example, in horizontal mode, you can still put it up into your Instagram story and add some filters or creative text or GIFs and make it look good. So you can recycle your content, basically. But if you really want to use Instagram Stories as your primary platform, shoot like this. Okay, so not like this, of course. Now, creative apps you can use. And this is a quote by Salvador Dali. Have no fear of perfection, you will never reach it. And you're all creators as of now already. So you can start doing awesome stuff. There are really easy and simple ways to do that within your Instagram Stories features. And if you want to level it up even more, you can use really cool creative third-party apps that are, many are free, many are to pay, but you can do a lot with really cool free apps. And I'll show you some of my favorite ones that I use quite often and regularly. And but just before we go into there, these are all built-in features from Instagram Stories that I'm using here. It's no third-party app here. I did that all in Instagram Stories. So here it's just adding text. Here it's a creative filter. And see, this is like a post. It was a square. I integrated into an Instagram story. It's not filling out the whole space, but I drew something on it. I put some text on it, so it actually looks like it's a proper story. Okay? And here, I'm just adding a lot of GIFs, and if you click on it, they'll start moving and dancing, and it's very interactive as well. Now, these are some of the favorite apps I use. Does anyone know any of these? Okay, which ones can you recognize? Canva, yeah.
Is the one on the left where you can put more one picture in a frame? I can't remember what it's called.
Yes, so it's Pick, Pay, Post. It's really cool for collages and also like basic video trimming apps. and this is Pic Collage. So both are really good for collages and creative stuff. All can be used for free. And Pic Play Post, but I will show it in a second. It will be written on the screen. And this one in the middle is the Unfold app that is really amazing and creative. So this would be like a Pic Play Post type of thing. There are different things here. So this is like just 3 under each other. Now this one here is really cool because these are videos actually, all 3 of them. So I'm telling a video story in this. And the active video always becomes colorful, and the rest are black and white. So it's really cool. You can check it out on my feed. And this one here is just different types of pictures where I again integrated some tags and text and location to get it more interactive and interesting, and of course brand it to my brand. And of course you can see the orange everywhere. Makes sense? There are a lot of cool ways you can put your collages together. Just make sure you pick the right format when you create it. So don't do the 1:1, but do the 9:16 for Instagram stories. Now this is Pic Collage. This is a cool Pic Collage because you can move actually the pictures around. So whereas the first option, what I gave you, the Pic Play Post, it has already set up patterns you can play around with. Here you just move the pictures however you want. You can shift them, you can play with the angles. So it's just me putting them all together basically. So I just uploaded the pictures one after each other, and I just positioned them and played around with the position and the angles and all these stuff. So whatever you like, whatever resonates with you. If you like to play around with your fingers or you want an already set up pattern, both will work really nicely. And this is Unfold. This is a really nice wedding photographer's feed. She uses Instagram stories and Unfold very often. And this is just like a really nice way if you're into minimalist stuff and nice framing, and photos are a big part of your business. So travel bloggers, photographers, travel agencies, anything that is related, or beautiful product images like, skincare or beauty care or watches, like anything can be used for that. I use it for my services too, so it's really up to you what you put in it. These are wedding photos in different types of setups, and this is what I did for my feed. It's like more a creative storytelling. I just love these, that there's a photo in the photo, and then you can add some kind of inspirational text. Like, Instagram is really inspirational for me and creative, so lots of opportunities to play around and kind of build that personal link with your audience. I'm still a service, I'm a social media consultant, but I still have like a private side that is creative and fits well into featuring in as a business, because that will again create that relationship. And yeah, so now over to us. Let's try that in action. So I want you, before that, does anyone have a question? Yeah? Yeah, so once you find out which color you like, you just play around with it. And like here, again, this is something I created in Instagram stories, okay? So I reposted a picture from a florist. I put it into a black and white filter, and that has rainbow colors because there's a filter like that on Instagram stories. And I just drew some orange stuff around to frame it with my finger. You can put dots, lines, arrows, hearts, whatever, flowers, mandalas. And I put an arrow here with another option, put some GIFs here, so this would be moving and taking pictures, and the hashtag, a little bit of a story, and here you go, a story is there. So it took me 5 seconds, basically. Okay, no, not 5 seconds, probably 30 seconds, but really, if you're used to it, it goes really quick because you know exactly where to find it. So I just wanted to show you these to give you ideas. I'm not a graphic designer. I feel I'm creative, but these are really simple things you can use from the Instagram app. So let's try that now. Okay, so pull up your Instagram stories, please. For those of you who it's the first time, yeah, let's do this. And click on your profile and start to add like a first Instagram story, okay? So that's how it will look like. You will have like a video or a photo option. Now, I want you to just maybe take a picture or a mini video of your neighbor, okay? Or whatever you feel like. You can actually stand up if you want to move a little bit. And that's what we're going to be doing. I'm just going to hit the record button, and we're going to Instagram story ourselves here. You can wave to the camera. Yeah, we're here. And everyone's excited to do this. Okay, so that's how it's going to work.
And is maximum, how long is the maximum? Only 15 seconds?
Yeah, so it's going to cut off after 15 seconds.
Can you pre-record and upload or not?
You can pre-record, so if you want, you can actually do a photo or a video with your own camera, not within Instagram. But just snap a picture first, okay? So I want you now first to start with. Let's just snap a picture with our cameras. Yes, what's the question, John? Yeah. How to find it?
How do you get to the creating from?
Yeah, so you pull up your Instagram profile.
Yeah.
You find your profile picture up on the top. You click on it.
Yes.
Okay, so,
I went to my last.
okay, so click again on your photo. And then there will be like a new thing. Did everyone find it? I'll just come over and... And then, when you get the picture, so everyone wave here. I'm just going to take a picture here. Hello, cool. And now you'll see up on the top, you'll have these little icons to play with, okay? So first one is a smiley with a star face, okay? I want you to click on the smiley with the stars. And under here, you will have tons of filters come up, okay? So my favorite is, for example, this one. And it will put us in a really cool Hollywood style of picture mode, okay? So just pick a nice picture filter. And then, everyone found the filter? Okay. Is there anyone who didn't find the filter? Okay, cool. So pick a nice filter. And then, next to it, there's another smiley in a square. That's where you can find, actually, the options. Tagging, hashtagging, the location, the GIFs. So pick one, pick a location, okay? Pick a location, say Sky City, okay? We're gonna put in Sky City. And then I'm gonna, who wants to volunteer? I want a volunteer from the room. Okay, what's your username, please? Mrs. Great News. It's coming up, yeah. I will put your username in there and tag you. And then I'm going to also put a poll, okay? So I'm going to say, are you in the room, okay? Are you in the room? And then I'm going to hashtag SMCNZ
So normally up here, this is what
19. And if you want, you can hashtag your partner who you photographed or videoed. You can tag me too, Be Social Now, so it will pop up on my feed as well. And you'll see what happens next, okay? And then just say send to. And it's done, and it's going to be there. So, yes, I'm going to go around quickly and just go along and see where anyone is stuck. Okay. Oh, yeah, so the first button with the audio is if you're doing a video, you can put it on mute or have the sound on. So if sound is important and you're talking, just leave it on. If you want to mute the video because you just want to show behind the scenes, just click on mute.
Yeah. He's got the little thing there.
Oh, so that's the filters.
he doesn't have the filters.
Okay, so maybe it's John's rolled out yet. So options because it's constantly rolling out. So Jeff, for example, doesn't have the filter options. Don't worry about it, just use another feature. Use a location, use a tag, maybe draw something on it, okay? So how to draw something? I'm just gonna draw something here. I'm gonna, again, like, do a little video here. This is the team in action, doing the Instagram stories. Everyone trying a different feature. And I'm just gonna write on it with my orange pencil. Everyone can see the pencil? Okay, so try out to draw something with your hands, okay? There's a pencil button. Yeah, I'm gonna go around.
Well, when you can leave your tag, so you don't have to I always say that. So once I write it, I always do a save just so I know back up with it. Yep. So that's your, so Jeff's is like, if you want to have like a guy dancing or something, they can look a little bit tacky sometimes. But then hashtag, I always use this. So we're hashtag. So SMC, social media content, yeah, but also tap it. So you like you might want like a different color scheme. You tap it again, so you can change it over. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll hide it so it'll be actually the hashtag's there, but it's against the grey background, so you just can't see it. Yep.
So we had a really good question from Michelle. So if you don't see your brand colors in the color list, okay, does anyone have that problem? Everyone found their color? If you pull up your Instagram stories now and you would want to write a text, for example, okay, so look at the letter, that's the last one, the AA. If you click on the AA, you will be able to add the text. Okay, let's do that now. Once you've finished your previous one, test out the text option. So take another picture of someone around in the room and click on the letters, okay? And once you click on the letters, click on the letters and just type something in. Cool. And I'm going to write, hello team, for example. And then, once I wrote my text, I'm sorry, I can't show you now better, but this is how it looks like. So I put in my text here, and then under here you have the colors. So if I click on orange, it will turn into orange, okay? If I click on purple, it will turn into purple. And I can also change the handwriting font of the text that is up here. So now it says typewriter. I can go for strong, or classic, or modern, or neon. These are the options, and you will see how different the fonts are. Yeah, so that's really fun. So you can say that, and even next to that, there's another letter with the stars. So A with the stars. Can everyone see that? We're at the texts now. So anyone who is doing the texts, you're writing in a text, you chose the color, you chose the font, and next to the font, up here, there's another icon you can press. It's an A with the stars. You will get your text highlighted. Okay, so that's another cool way to get creative. I'm just going to go around and show you. Yeah, so start writing something.
It's a video.
Love that. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna come around. Do you have any questions? Another question that just came up, can you share it to Facebook as well? Yes, if your accounts are connected, you can set it up in your settings that it will instantly share out to Facebook as well. So it will go directly to your Facebook stories too. I have that option on my feed, but it's up to you. If you can even connect it with your personal Facebook if you want, but if you're a business, you can connect it with your business account. Yes? Yeah, so the business account is just because you can get your contact details and the link there, so it's really important. And also the insights, you can read the insights through that. If you have it on a personal one, you won't be able to do these. It's up to you. I mean, if you're a business, go for a business. I would go for a business. Yeah, I don't see any sense in sticking with the personal. I mean, it could be something like the algorithm prefers personal to business. There are some myths around it, but yeah, if I'm a business and using it for business purposes, I would go for business, yeah. There was another question here somewhere, yes? Come over.
Okay, guys.
Just a second, we have to close slowly, but I'll be around for more. So don't worry if you need to leave. Don't worry if you can stay and want to stay. I'm gonna still hang around and go around with the questions. Okay. So thank you so much for everyone for coming along. And do your Instagram stories. Have fun with it. Tag each other. Tag us. Tag the conference, and we'll share you out. Enjoy the rest of the day and have a nice lunch break. Bye.